Hi, fourth graders. Today we're going to be talking about the Appalachian Mountains, and we're connecting this to our unit of study in science about changes to Earth's surface. So let's get started. So what are the Appalachian Mountains? Well, the Appalachian Mountains are a mountain range on the eastern part of the United States. So you can go ahead and look at this map and see that they run as far north as Maryland and as far south as Georgia. So they run almost across the entire east coast of the United States. It's one of the oldest mountain ranges in the world. And a fun fact is that a Native American tribe used to inhabit the southern part of the Appalachian Mountains. So the Cherokee people used to actually live in the river valleys in the southern Appalachian Mountains. So our essential question for this activity, we're going to try and answer this. What caused the Appalachian Mountains to become low and rounded? So at the very end of this video, you're going to get a chance to make a claim supported with evidence and reasoning as to what caused the Appalachian Mountains to now become low and rounded. So changes to these mountains. About millions and millions of years ago, the Appalachian Mountains used to stand tall at about 9,000 meters. Okay, so really tall, and they were pointy. And today you can look at the picture here on the right and see that they're not tall and they're not rounded and pointy. So now they only stand about 2,000 meters high. So we're going to try and take our knowledge of what changes Earth's surface is to kind of come to a conclusion about what's happening with the Appalachian Mountains. So whatever's going on, these changes have occurred over time, so slowly, and geologists have been studying the Appalachian Mountains for a long time. We're going to think about, could it have been wind, water, living things, or even perhaps erosion that's causing these changes, and we're going to investigate. So let's look for evidence of change. So sand dunes. They are basically mountains of sand that are formed, and this is a picture of a sand dune from Death Valley National Park, which is located in the eastern part of California. And each year the sand dunes migrate, which means that they move from place to place. So I want you to think about what could cause sand dunes to move. If it's sand, what moves sand? Perhaps wind? If you're thinking that, you're right. So these dunes move very slowly, only about a centimeter a day, but over the course of a year, it can be as much as 50 feet. So that's pretty significant. All right, landslides. So landslides are when the top layers of the ground shift because they're unstable and they move. So usually we associate landslides with when buildings or houses are on kind of cliffs, and then there's heavy rains and the soil beneath it becomes unstable and it kind of goes down the hillside. So that can be caused by heavy rains, but also when we take out trees or plants, those roots are no longer into the soil, making it stable ground. And when we don't replace it with new plants, the soil beneath then becomes pretty unstable. So that's what's happening here when there's landslides. All right, also something that can affect the Earth's surface and change it are trees. So think about when a tree is first planted, it's just a seed and it slowly starts to grow. But when it's as big as this, it definitely is going to move the surface that it's connected to. So these rocks even can be moved by the tree's growing body and its roots. So small rocks can then be shifted further away, and the larger rocks can be slowly shifted away from the tree. All right, glaciers. So think about a glacier. It's icy. What happens when it melts? Well, then when it melts, it can form bodies of water. And that's exactly what happened here. This glacier started melting and it created a new lake. And this is in Juneau, Alaska. Also, something that can happen is as it erodes away, rocks then start falling, and then that can form a valley. So glaciers can melt and they can form new bodies of water, and they also then can form valleys from rocks and erosion. So something that has come out of studying the Appalachian Mountains